Some rather disturbing news tonight with the death of Vitali Shishov. What is your understanding of what happened?
Well, we don't really have many details at this stage, but what we know is that he was found hanged not far from his house where in Kiev, in Ukraine. He disappeared yesterday while jogging, so everybody was wondering and looking for him. We did not know where he was. So Vitali is a prominent activist. He fled Belarus a while ago. He was based in Kiev, and he was helping people who were fleeing Belarus in the same way as he did. Moreover, he was also sort of investigating KGB officers. He was de-anonymizing them, kind of trying to, kind of say their names, who they are, and all of that. So he was really kind of prominent, really active, and it's really shocking what happened to him. And it just shows that nobody is sort of safe, in Belarus or abroad, Ukraine, Poland.
And that would be the concern, obviously, that you're not even safe if you're not on Belarusian soil. And he had made the comment that he felt he was under surveillance and being watched and perhaps under threat.
Yes, indeed. So it happened. His friends are now saying that he raised concerns about that. I think many of those activists who fled Belarus also were talking about surveillance, were talking about observation. There were cases when people, bloggers, journalists were kind of some really unknown people were taking pictures of them. So it's all happening, and safety of activists, safety of journalists is paramount. And other countries, other governments should pay more attention to that. The recent case with an athlete in Japan, in Tokyo, shows us that even so far away, even during the Olympic Games, a person can be nearly kidnapped by the Belarusian government.
And let's talk about that case, Krystsina Tsimanouskaya. Now, she's been granted a visa by Poland, and she's hopefully going to be on her way there tomorrow. That was an interesting case, but to your point, will she even be safe in Poland once she gets there?
She recently, just I think an hour ago, she said that she doesn't feel safe, really, despite being given a visa, despite kind of her plans to apply for asylum in Poland. And her husband is now in Ukraine. He also fled Belarus. So it again kind of raises concerns, I think, for her and for her husband that, he's not safe there, she's not safe in Japan or in Poland, where she's going to travel, because the Belarusian government, let's say, has lost any boundaries at this stage, I think. The only way for Lukashenko now to stay in power is to escalate repressions. In May, as we remember, a civilian plane was forced down just to detain an opposition blogger who was on board. So Lukashenko doesn't feel that he feels impunity, and he wants to arrest, detain activists, bloggers, even outside the country, as it happened, with an athlete, as it happened with a blogger on board, or as it happened with an activist in Ukraine.
Yeah. Give us a sense of, while the Olympics have been going on, and we talked about this athlete, being almost kidnapped by being taken back to the airport. How has it been playing out? Has there been political tension about how athletes have been behaving while they've been at the Olympics and potentially embarrassing the country by wanting to seek asylum?
It was a small internal conflict. Krystsina Tsimanouskaya, the athlete, only criticized her coaches for negligence. But now, as you see, the regime in Minsk feels so cornered. They don't really accept any type of criticism. They're scared of that criticism. And apparently, Krystsina was told that it was a decision taken by even Lukashenko himself personally to bring her back home to Belarus. So it immediately became a political issue, even though there were no grounds for that. Why? I think it's because Lukashenko uses sport as a sort of type of propaganda. He uses it as a tool to legitimize, to justify himself. He's trying to present him as a as kind of himself as an athlete. So that's something that he is really kind of embarrassed by. He doesn't want athletes to criticize the regime, to criticize Lukashenko. And athletes have been really vocal in the past months about the violence, about all this torture that happened in Belarus. So it's really inconvenient for Lukashenko that athletes are criticizing him.
Yeah, I saw the exiled opposition leader meeting with Boris Johnson today, the UK Prime Minister. How much support is she going to be able to garner?
I think what Svetlana Tikhanovskaya is trying to do right now is obviously gather this diplomatic, this political support from the US, from the United Kingdom, from other countries, Western countries in the EU, because it's really important. She is trying to organize a new free and fair elections. She is asking for more sanctions, for more pressure, and she's asking for more assistance to civil society, because now civil society is being completely destroyed in Belarus. Only half an hour ago, I think there was this news that 4 more organizations, prominent organizations in Belarus, have been closed, have been shut down. Journalists are being jailed. So basically, the whole kind of ecosystem of civil society does not exist in Belarus anymore. And that's kind of why she's asking for more assistance, more support. And it's up to Western countries to kind of put more coordinated sanctions, more pressure, but also support people on the ground, people inside the country.
Hanna, we appreciate you talking to us, and do stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.